Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hell. I'm Robin at Interjack with OC, and we are back with our second run-through of Silent Hill 4: The Room. Now, I'm going to start off today by saying I'm in a bad mood. Not because of anything specific that happened, but because this is one of those days where a whole bunch of little tiny things just kind of builds up. I was already in a bad mood yesterday, and I continue to be in a bad mood today. But I saw yesterday some discourse about a streamer who decided to target one of his audience members, who happened to respond with, "Hey, how you been? Where you been?" She responds with, "Well, my mom died." And he decided to make an example of her and treat her like crap. And so, today, I'm going to showcase what happens when you're in a bad mood and you grow up and be an adult about it. So let's play some Silent Hill 4. Souvenirs! Right. Lindsay has been to Omega Mart, which I've been seeing pictures of that, and it looks freaking amazing. Anyway, yeah, so I love that little stock screen. So I don't know. I am definitely the kind of person who uh will get very punchy about that because I am very much how far into the stream are we? About a couple minutes? Yeah, so it's fine. Uh, my personal philosophy is be kind or fuck off. You know what I mean? And so today, I would like to make sure that people understand it's actually pretty easy to not be a dick to people who are hurting. It's actually very easy. You just have to make the decision to do it. So we are going to. Ooh. No! Yeah, I want that. That would be a good mod. I'm actually strongly considering picking up the PC versions um, of Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4 and getting some mods going for it because that would be genuinely very cool. I would love to see these games like super clean but still gritty, you know, with widescreen. Be Kind or Fuck Off is right up there with Lynch's Fix Your Heart or Die as far as rules for life go. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Um, Robin really be out here goofy posting. I don't have it in me to do my goofy impression today, unfortunately. Uh, but remind me when I'm in a better mood because it's really funny. Anyway, so I think we need to check the fridge for chocolate milk. And we're leaving the wine bottle because screw it. Also, love a little shortcut where they just black the screen out instead of animating the door. No one needed to sit there and make that happen, so they decided not to. Good for them. We're going to check the window. We're going to see Claudia. Now, I would probably assert that, like, Be Kind or Fuck Off is one of those things that we don't need to animate doors opening. This isn't Shenmue. Thank you. You understand. Oh, like, can I can I talk for a second how much I love Shenmue? It is one of the most sluggish, slow-paced game franchises of all time. It's ridiculous, and also it is one of my favorite experiences ever. It's just very good. So, for the first time in this playthrough, grab our steel pipe, and we say it with me, everybody. Enter hole. In this house, we love and appreciate the Shenmue series of video games on all fronts. Exactly. And I'm still upset that the anime got canceled. I didn't even get to it yet. I didn't get around to watching it because it was on Crunchyroll, and I never think to open Crunchyroll. And then they canceled it. But don't worry, in 20 years, they're going to announce season 2, and it's going to be fine. So this is the only playable time when you are in a hole. You get to hold up for a lovely little sequence where you just crawl around in a hole. You're a little guy. So, how's everyone doing? I kind of went off on a pretty heavy tangent right off the bat, which I was personally happy to do, but also... Okay, first we need to actually equip this. Leslie Hall is starting a Patreon. Ooh, that's very cool. Maple's fussy and wanting attention, so I brought one of our cloth cat cubes into my room to play with her. Because she's the ambush predator type of playtime. Ooh, yeah, I know the feel. I don't think we deal with dogs right away. Maybe we do. But we don't actually need to worry about Claudia's health. Because we all know what's going to happen to her. She's very cute, she's got her own thing going on, and she's the bravest woman ever. Because she's doing all this thinking it's a dream. And we're going to leave her to die. Hello, Doggums. Then we enter hole. Enter hole! Now I'm doing my best to, like, kind of reference a guide from Silent Hill Memories with the express intent of cutting down my time as best I can. For the most part, I've got, like, a pretty good and okay fix on this game. But when it comes to speedruns, it requires me quite a few attempts to understand what the hell I'm doing. Oh, right. Yeah, this gets moved. And then we see it is time to show hole. How many times am I going to make those jokes throughout this run? I don't think it's going to be the last. See Eileen, who's just hanging out. And then a phone call. So we're gonna trying to do our best to hit the ground running here and see how far we can get in a single playthrough.
Hurry, save me. If you need a token, there's one here.
Okay. I already heard some shuffling in there, but I am not going to bother. So I don't really have much to say at the moment. And I'm trying my best to come up with good conversational material. But, as I mentioned, this is like one of those weird days, you know? I believe we have to go to the turnstiles to the Lynch line. Oh. There we go. That puppet mannequin never doesn't freak me right the crap out. The thing about that really gets me is that that's like a little bespoke item that only shows up in that one portion of the game. There's no other reason for it. And it's so weird. And like they put in all this attention to detail while also sometimes being like, we're not gonna animate a door. They're willing to make all of these different assets, but they're not going to animate a refrigerator door, and I respect that. Oh god. Avatar 2. I... Okay. The thing is, I respect James Cameron. Hi, Necrobob. Um, oh, I just realized one of the things I did that kind of didn't do that threw off my mojo. Um, and I'll do it after this. I respect James Cameron, uh, a fair amount, in no small part because, like, he actually is somebody who goes deep into how he makes things. I've heard stories from people who've actively worked with him. Um, and I can't really fault him for being like, okay, I've got my little OC world and my little OC characters, and I'm doing 5 goddamn movies, and no one's going to stop me. And you know what? Good for him. And I like Zoe Saldana. I like Sigourney Weaver. I like a lot of the people who have shown up in those movies. And I think I'm going to sit this one out. I think, just maybe, Avatar 2 Aquatic Boogaloo might not make it on my watch list this year. So, hello Necrobob. One of the things I forgot to do today was actually greet everyone. So, hello Malik, hello Kat, hello Aleph, hello Lindsay, hello Bob again, hello Lark, and I think that's everybody, and if it isn't, go ahead and yell at me in the chat. It occurred to me earlier that Avatar is like the only modern blockbuster in an original IP that I can think of, and it hurt me to think that. Yeah, I don't blame you for being hurt. That's one of those things that is... It's... It's kind of nightmarish. You only said hi to me twice. Hi, Necrobob. Hello, Necrobob. Greetings, Necrobob. Willkommen, Necroboben. Hola, guten Tag. My good Bob. Of course. Okay, previously our gun only held 10 bullets. Oh, right, we need to check out our options real quick. No, we don't have... That's a point against Silent Hill 4. We don't have bullet adjust. We're actually not going to see a lot of the usual features that we see in additional playthroughs in Silent Hill. We're not going to get much unless we go for rankings. And, that's kind of a bummer. Okay. Oh yeah, Claudia disappears. And I think... No, I don't think we're done yet. I think we got some stuff to do. Unless... I really do forget what we're supposed to do here. But I do think we need to head into that maintenance room. I want to check the southern one as well. Or northern? I want to check the other door here. There are so many ghosts. And now we can actually postulate who these ghosts are. We have the means. Okay. That is shut tight. So we do have to go into that room. We have to go down the ladder. I believe we need to go up to the other side so that we can unlock it for our return trip to Subway World, which will happen quite a bit later. I got strong enough in Elden Ring to dual-wield colossal swords without running around naked. Holy cow. I forgot that's a thing you can do, and I suddenly want to install Elden Ring again. Right! That won Game of the Year. At the VGAs. Which, honestly, yeah, sounds right. Like, I think I played that game more than any other game this year outside of either 14 or Vampire Survivors. And honestly, the fact that Vampire Survivors didn't win a single award, to my recollection, is a crime.
I found the exit. Come to the turnstile.
Right.
Henry, I found the exit. Help.
Kat happened to mention
Hurry.
that if
Hurry.
Claudia hadn't said anything, he's coming. There's not a lot that happens in New Game Plus. So here's the way that unlocks work in Silent Hill 4. Rather than giving you like something new almost every single playthrough or giving you something specific for each unlock, they instead rely on rankings. And it's pretty high. So the way it works is that you need to get either a 9 or a 10-star rating on a playthrough in order to unlock the submachine gun for Eileen, which is kind of wild to say out loud. Like, you could just give her a submachine gun, a full-on SMG, which she deserves. And let's see, there are also 2 other modes that if you get that rating, you unlock one weapon, which is as it sounds. You get access to a whole bunch of weapons, but you can only pick one, apart from a couple of like stand-in, very basic plot critical weapons, like the steel pipe and the pistol, I believe. And if you beat that, you get all weapons run mode, where you can pick up every single weapon in the game, which is kind of neat. There's also one other thing. There are occasionally like other tiny things. Like I think there's a chainsaw that's available in this run through. And I've never really liked the chainsaws in these games because they're always very slow. But okay, we tore ass through that in 20 minutes. Holy cow. But there is one other thing that is unlocked once you get all 4 endings, and that is, regrettably, sexy outfits for Claudia and Eileen. Which, you know...
Hurry up and get that ambulance. Quit yapping and move her already.
Let's grab this. And we might check that out on our last playthrough. Or like, do a little quick peek after we are done with the last playthrough. But nothing quite tops Silent Hill 3's bonuses. Like, we don't get mind bullets. We don't get special outfits for ourselves because, I mean, half the time we're in first person. And we don't get like a whole bunch of really neat weapons. That's telekinesis, Kyle. God, I would love Sentai outfits. I think if they ever remake or remaster this game, and they're never going to, let's be real. If they ever do that, I would love if they, you know, if they just added some more costumes. Resident Evil does this thing where every time they remake their games or remaster or report them, they add in a bunch of costumes for your additional playthroughs, and that's really fun. I want that for Silent Hill. Alright, so now we're in Forest World. Now mine bullets, how do you defend yourself against the axe? If there's a video I want to watch again, it's the Wonder Boy one. Tenacious D at their peak just hits right, you know? So we're playing on easy difficulty because we played on normal and it stressed me the hell out. And I personally just really want to get crazy. You know, just plow through everything. Because we deserve it. Arguably, we would more deserve it if we played on hard first, but oh my god. I like survival horror, but I don't like survival horror that much. By the way, I didn't get a chance to ask because it was over time. What's the thoughts on this game so far? Like, the fact that we got, like, the best ending on our first playthrough is pretty great. So I feel like we have a good opportunity to actually kind of discuss all of the things that this game does. And having... Oh, you know what? Here it is. Chainsaw. Having never beaten this game before, and now having figured out what all went into making this, I think in terms of actual craft, this might be one of my favorite ones.
So you came to investigate.
And that's... It feels weird to say. Because one of the things that really got me was that by the time we learned how these ghosts functioned and how everything kind of tied together, my appreciation for the game just kind of very much elevated. Because it felt like from the start we got something that was very carefully crafted to be one cohesive experience from beginning to end. When you realize that all of these ghosts that you've been running across are like specific people that you can go to their apartments and see how they lived, and that you can kind of follow this narrative in a really interesting way that makes it feel like I don't know, it's there's something about it that makes me feel like even though this game did not really click with a lot of people, the work that actually went into making it and the amount of thought that went into designing the world and the mystery and like how all of these things connect together feels really good. Like genuinely, oh so very good. So I'm going to catch up on the thoughts. Neat game to discuss, even if it is frustrating to play. Yelp. Lot to recommend this one's though. Animation good, designs are all really snazzy, even if the sound design's a bit wonky at times, and the Barker punk of it all, hits so good. I also respect them wanting to keep experimenting with the formula, and themes instead of making safer decisions. Even the idea that we're not in Henry's custom-tailored Silent Hill mindscape, but Walter's, and we're seeing all the things that shaped him and how he sees the world. Yeah. I agree with all these points. We're kind of back to Silent Hill 1 in a lot of ways, where we're not viewing the experiences of the person we're controlling. We're kind of navigating somebody else's psyche. And much like Silent Hill 1, Henry, like Harry, doesn't have a lot going on for himself in terms of character development and growth and depth. But that's not really the point. The point is that he's another victim. He's just somebody who moved in. And much like everybody else who was killed, or at least targeted, um, he just kind of showed up in the wrong place at the wrong time. And in the context of Silent Hill 4, I think that's genuinely very interesting. I feel like Henry is an overcorrection in personality,
Oh
like Konami heard people
man,
complaining
that
about
was
protagonist personalities in
awesome.
series. Could be a knee-jerk reaction to gamers complaining about Heather. Um, if that even occurred. There's a chance it did. Um, Opposite where the lake and house meet, inside the hand holding on the ground. I believe that's down this way. Yeah? Yes. Southeast. Now, we all know it's spelled gamers with a Z. Correct. Absolutely 100% correct. Uh, and seems likely the aggro demographic have been loud for a while, just that folks didn't hear him as often. Yeah, having been on message boards for a much longer time than should be healthy, um, there were people complaining about that. There were a lot of people being like, I don't know how I can immerse myself in an experience where I'm playing as a girl. So this doesn't make sense to me. Um, which is like big whatever to me. There's the ghost again. And we're just going to turn around. I haven't had a chance to use this yet, this chainsaw. And I'm just waiting for a good opportunity because I will have to rev it up. Just makes me wish the Gamera movies had been better. I've got the box sets. I could just sit and watch them. Oh, shoot, right, okay. I remember. There is this one little trick that I keep forgetting about where I have to go back through a portal, drop off a key, go to Wish House, and then pick it up again. There we go. Henry's like the Half-Life 1 Gordon Freeman, just the wrong guy in the wrong place, but manages to throw a giant monkey wrench into the cosmic horror story. Yeah. And I kind of appreciate that. Like, I don't I don't gravitate towards experiences where I am playing a blank slate very much. It's usually like one of my least favorite experiences. I either want a bespoke, like specific character, or I want a character whose personality I can kind of determine with dialogue choices that makes me feel like I'm playing a person. And like I get it, but also sometimes that empty vessel is something that works really well. So occasionally I like to roll with it. Um, okay, there's no other note. Here we go. Dudes is weird when they're like, I see girl and it's impossible to imagine myself in her place, even a little, even with an entire video game helping me get there. Fellas, is it gay to regard half the population like a different species? Oh, you mean how they refer to people as females? One of my biggest linguistic pet peeves that just kind of showcases how little some guys care about women. That they're willing to reduce them to a clinical status as opposed to, you know, the other half of your entire species. And there's a nuanced way to refer to that by also including trans and non-gender conforming people. But, the issue of calling women females is never going to not bug me. It's like, as soon as I hear that from somebody, I'm just immediately turn my brain off. It's like, no, I don't need to listen to you, actually. This conversation's over. Bye. It seems like a weird simple thing. I call B-words females instead of slurs, but they still don't want to be around me. I stopped calling you bitches. What do you want from me? Ugh. There's a lot of crummy people in the world. But that's okay. The fact that we're able to have a discussion about crummy people being in the world means, by default, there's a lot of good people in the world. I'm just going to take that little bit of solace and just be like, yeah, you know what? We're good. It's a pretty decent litmus test, I must admit. Yeah. I have a similar vibe about people who complain about my immersion. Which was a thing that happened today that put me in a bad mood. If you go onto an MMO and you complain about other people's cosmetics breaking your immersion, and then you spend half a dungeon complaining about it, when that person you're complaining about is the fucking tank keeping you off your back, or keeping enemies off your back, you don't make friends, is, I think, the simplest way to do that. Or simplest way to refer to that. Hello, Mom. Good to see ya. See, I don't think there's much here. In fact, I enjoy an immersive experience, but people seem to want immersion in the weirdest way. Hello, Jasper? And then I think we just... grab the source placard, and we watch Jasper burn himself alive. So Jasper is the 16th or 17th victim.
Special.
And he's one of the people who, again, lives at the apartment. Hello. And then he knocks on the door, we back up a little to see if there's a thing, and there isn't. So, we're going to do this. I wonder how much of people being aggro about the importance and primacy of their immersion is related to people who want media to be primarily about them escaping into it, which is apparently impossible when people who aren't in their demographic exist in the work. Likely the same people who complain about elves being anything other than white in their fantasy settings. Yeah, I don't know how many times I have to argue about, like, you're complaining about skin color in a game with dragons, or you're complaining about whether or not women are actually able to be heroes in a game where people can shoot fire from their eyeballs. Like, there should be a certain point in which immersions is something that just doesn't track. I'm a big proponent of I am a big proponent of making sure that you maintain the space that players are investing themselves into.
He's gonna kill me.
And now we know he's talking about Walter.
Kill me.
Yup.
He's gonna kill me.
And there are a lot of ways to do it. There are games I've played, like Metal Gear Solid, where they very much just reach right through the fourth wall and give tutorials in a way that feels very, like, yes, you're playing a game, and you're playing a game where serious stuff is happening. And they never shy away from that, which I think is genuinely interesting. Wait a minute. I think I need to go down the ladder, actually. A lot of it reads to me like, I can imagine me being special, but anyone else being special makes me feel worse. The whole, I bet they think XYZ is about me. I bet they think XYZ about me when the truth is they aren't thinking about you. Yeah, Because there are people who get really upset by MMOs and these other games where a bunch of other players are all taking on the role of the one true hero. They're like, but I want to be the one true hero. How can I manage that in my brain where all of these other characters are special and heroic and they're the stars of the story when I want to be the star of the story? Me gasping in surprise, a revelation, as the revelation that you think MGS is interesting. Listen, I may have mentioned it once or twice, but I think Metal Gear Solid is neat. Or the idea that letting other people into space means there's less room for you. That's the big one right there. Like, the instant you start making room for other people, people are like, well, what about me? It's like, the dozens of years, sometimes hundreds, depending on the field that we're talking about, where you are represented en masse, is suddenly gone because we gave something to one person, to one group. It's like, sounds fake, but okay. It's one of the most nonsense complaints, and it really sucks. Because, like, there are tons of sensible arguments, and nothing ever gets through to those people. And I do remember having an argument with somebody who complained about, like, sexism in something like, you know, Grand Theft Auto 5. And not a complaint in the, man, I wish this game weren't kind of sexist and misogynist. And he like, it was an argument that developed to where he kind of just revealed, I don't mind being catered to. I like being catered to. But I don't see why I should care about other people getting these things. And I was just kind of sitting there like, wow, you just kind of laid it out all on the line, huh? Like, I can't really, can't really argue with that. Bit of a derail, but did I ramble vaguely about a not Indiana Jones movie where the villain dies a graphic death by being coated in gold during the rain here? I don't think you did, but now, the ending of the movie Alan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold. Ooh. Charmingly bad 80s Necrolibria. I'm into it. Okay, so I think we need to go to the third floor. Love a self-aware chud. Yeah, sometimes I kind of appreciate when people just kind of out themselves like that, because it means that I can just move on with my life. It's like it tells me everything I need to know. It's like I can't argue with that there. You clearly do like this, and you think it's bad when you don't get it, and that's fine. And also, I massively disagree with you, and I think less of you now. Things that sound really shitty when taken out of context, but in context... Oh god. Twin-headed babies. Okay. So we're going to jump down a hole, enter hole. Buddy, this is the stone soup situation. The more people are here, the more they bring to the experience, and the tastier the final product. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Almost all chuds are self-aware. They just are playing by secret rules that benefit them. Yeah, that's a very elegant way of putting it, because most of the time they know what they're doing. Sometimes they're just kind of spewing things that they've heard repeated quite often because, again, it benefits them. They don't really want to address that. Obvious chuds are the nicest because they don't know the secret rules. Yeah. I've met a lot of, like, very oblivious chuds who just kind of repeat things. And to a certain extent, a lot of them can be like, you know what? You can kind of argue with them in a way to be like, nope, this is like you got misled here. Here's the truth. Here's the thing, and you can kind of talk them down sometimes, but ugh. You're promised a lot of things, and when the promises turned out to be untrue, they know it's easier and more rewarding to yell at the supposed prizes than rocking the boat by demanding to know why they were lied to by those above them in the hierarchy. Chud, but it's an FF spell. Chud, Chudda, and Chudaga. Well, I think, okay, no. It wouldn't be Chudda, it would be Chudja. So we'd add either a G or a J. Or an R. Chudra. There's a system! Why do I know this? Anyway. Chudra and Chudraga. I kind of like. I'm iffy on Chudraga. I think Chudaga is very good. But I think Chudda, Chudra, Chudja, these are things we can really mess with. I am wise, thank you. Let's see. So we did all that. What do we have to do now? We did all the things. So now we have to go back up, right? Yeah, so now we have to make our way up all the way to the 3rd floor? Yes. And if we did this correctly, we should be able to just like drop straight down. Yeah, I don't know. I've been arguing with people for years about stuff like this because I get on the game facts boards and I have basic empathy and sympathy for people who are not like me. And that's a problem on a lot of gaming message boards. And that means there's a lot of arguing. And I've seen so many different kinds of arguments come up. And when it gets to the point where you have to defend decisions made in The Last of Us Part 2, that's how you know you're in a bad situation, you know? Where you're in the wrong place. Okay, we did things wrong. So, what did we do? What we needed at the very top was, for light to be in that 1 o'clock room. And if we didn't do that, then... Let's see. If it was the 3rd floor... Our 2nd floor is a problem. So we probably need to crank it one more time. So let's go back and crank our shaft. Let's see. I believe I have to go further down. Yeah. Then we can go this way and through here. I think we can just sluice right between all of these. We're not doing phrasing anymore? No, I gave up. We are entering every hole we can. We are cranking our shaft. We are doing everything in our power to just ruin everything. Alright. Like, after a while, we just have to accept that, this game offers too many opportunities. Okay, so... if I did this correctly... which, God, I hope I did! We also ran into a problem where we weren't getting light on the 3rd floor. And there is a fix for this. It's a lengthy one, but there is a fix. Right. We need to go back down the ladder, because I keep forgetting how far we go. So... yeah, what was I talking about? I was complaining about message board chuds. Okay, once again, I think I might have messed this up, and I might have messed it up with the 3rd floor. But... okay, we officially made it to the room we needed to be in. We get the placard. Dark, and I can't see the buttons. Okay, so we did do one thing wrong again. We need to have light. Oh, wow, this actually comes out a lot quicker than I thought it would. Halfway agree with that, Geist, because a lot of chud bullshit is sunk cost fallacy coupled with some specific secret rules. Like, never play defense, that's losing. Or the whataboutisms, and there's always a fun idea that there has to be an us and a them where only one can win. Yeah, a lot of the very defensive nature of that is about, like, I mean, even incel ideology is about, like, believing you are owed something. That you were told that the world works a very specific way, and if you follow the beats perfectly, you get what you want. And naturally, that's not the case. Like, as any trans person can tell you, as any woman can tell you, as any person of color can tell you, there's a lot of rules that exist which purport to allow you a better life are at best inconsistent and probably do not apply to you. And so I almost feel bad for a lot of these people because even though, like, I can understand where they're coming from to the extent that, like, growing up being told that these are the things you are owed and then not getting them, that would upset me too. Because I do have some of those same feelings on occasion. Yes, the Christo-fascist pipeline of capitalism, we've all seen it. So I don't know, like, I get it. And I even have sympathy for it to a certain extent. But also, it's really infuriating. Because life doesn't turn out the way you want most of the time. Ooh, if we turn it one more time, we're good. So I need to figure out where I went wrong on this one for the next playthrough. then we'll be able to figure out how to do this one extremely quickly. That's good. I don't know. Most of these ideologies are just about people who were told to believe in something that ended up not being the reality of the world. And they just kind of have to deal with the consequences, even if it means coping extremely frickin' hard. Yeah, little sympathy because you can see how they got there, but sweet Christmas, when that stuff comes out of a 30-plus-year-old adult, it's just gnashing teeth times. And it's even funnier when, like, these people talk about, you know, these kinds of behaviors at such great length without understanding the irony that they are complaining as much as they think other people are complaining. They are just as sensitive as the people they claim are oversensitive. They feel just as entitled to the world bending to their will in the same way they believe others are. And I don't think that's lost on them, but it does just kind of really mess with you after a while. Okay, if we're extremely lucky. If we're extremely lucky, this will be it. But I don't actually know if this is going to be it. I'm just kind of turning this once at a time, which is not the best way to do this. You gotta have both sides. I mean, everything has two sides. Marvel versus DC, Democrat versus Republican, cats versus dogs. So once again, man, this is a lame position to put myself in. But it happens, so. Spent some time wishing things were different, that the universe would throw me a bone every now and then, but I've never blamed my situation on an entire group that isn't wealthy capitalist politicians. Yeah, and I know that there are probably good reasons why people don't get into leftism. You know what I mean? Okay, we need... to get this turned just right. This might do it, but I think I'm going to run it over to some of these other rooms. Because we need... Yes, that should probably do it. Maybe. Just maybe. Everyone knows rich people want lots of company. And if you're nice to the rich people, they'll give you free stuff. They'll trickle down their wealth to you. It's how that works. It's what Reagan promised. And why would he lie? Dang it. Oh, I really hacked this one. Okay, so. We are going to actually take the time to fix this properly. How do we do that? Well, we're going to go up to the 3rd floor. And we're going to do this right. So now I get to explain how this puzzle works, because I need to say it out loud in order for myself to understand why I'm having this problem. So, one of these rooms on the 3rd floor has a hole in the ceiling, which allows light to come down. When you turn those valves up at the up inside the central corridor, you are trying to find the room that has light above it and then have light be sent down all the way to the bottom so that it can reach the kitchen so that you can see the light. So as you progress through this little dungeon, you have to keep an eye out for which room has the light and which doesn't, which rooms have pits and which don't. Oh geez. No luck. Oh, I hate that the camera doesn't quite... Oh, Jesus. Why did that happen? Oh, Jesus. Oh my gosh. I can't actually navigate. Holy cow. They chased me so much. Someone lives in a farming province where the lack of rural support is significant. The rubber duck technique. What's the rubber duck technique? Did I accidentally explain it, or did somebody else explain it? Okay, so we are now starting over. We're starting over in the water prison. And this is good, because now we can, like, focus and try and make sure we know what we're doing.
Get me out. Get me the hell out of here.
I'll get you out. I'm actually kind of thankful for any death right now, because what I want to do is learn how to get these things done in a very concise way. Rubber duck technique is a programming thing. They will explain the code to a toy, such as a rubber duck, to work through where the bugs are. Oh! That's kind of neat. Yeah, I tend to do that a lot. A lot of times when I'm describing certain things that are happening in game, a small part of it really is me just trying to work it out vocally. I've actually developed this tick where whenever I have thoughts when I'm feeling bad, I try to work them out mentally. Like vocalize them, basically thinking out loud. And I try to walk myself through it. And sometimes this can be maladaptive, but sometimes it's actually like a legitimately really good technique, and I didn't know there was a name for it. So maybe I can go research that technique and like maybe learn how to use it in a better way. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad I learned something today. But yeah, so now that we've done that, we need to go up to the 3rd floor. No, we need to go to the top floor. Ow. Helpful in driving too, describing what I'm doing and surrounding traffic to stay focused on the road. Sir? Well, he's dead. Oh, that sounded like a nasty little ghosty goo. Don't like that. Yeah, it's Okay, so let me go back over this puzzle. So there is a light on the ceiling that's being cast down. And what you're doing is trying to line up holes so that light is escaping down to the very bottom floor. right? And when you rotate, you are moving a particular hole. Let's see. Turn the handle. I'm actually going to watch this happen because I believe this releases the water. And I would like to look at... Okay, all of these lift, so there's nothing else that we need to do here. The central thing we needed to do up here is done. And we go down. We're going to check out the third floor. And there are a few places we need to check here. I think we need to go to this door. Okay, so we've got something good here because we've got light. That's what we want. We want light. And we're going to be rotating this floor a little bit. So if we wind up in a situation where there's no light, we know we have messed up. And we need to make that our focus. Ow. I hate these guys so much. They are so fast and so pushy and so mean. Let's do this. I want to hide, but I can't hide. Okay, so this is the room. This is the spot we need. So we need a hole to line up here. Stop that. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I really like the salmon though. I'm sorry that you didn't like it. Lark made these little treats that were so very good. But cold smoked salmon is one of those things that can be kind of tough. So I understand. And I will eat all of yours after the show. That does probably mean we won't be getting them for a while, which is fine. Yeah, I could actually imagine that being like a bit of a textural problem. Because like, cold fish can sometimes be... It can be a lot to take. Texture and smell. Yeah, and like you have a... If I remember correctly, you have an issue with things being fishy. Hi, AJ. Particularly the negative connotation of fishy, like when things have a certain kind of... like... I'd say... past its primeness. Okay, so we've done all that. No, wait, we have to now jump down. And I think it's... They can have a funk to them, yeah. And that's like perfectly normal. If you have issues with that, that is a perfectly normal thing. Also, I hate dill. Fair. Okay, so when we jump down here, we can... I think unlock the doors we need to navigate this area more cleanly. Hello, guys. Oh, right. There's my supreme vice. Listen, if you're into it, you're into it really hard, and if you're not into it, it is so difficult. So I get it. Okay, so we've grabbed all the memos here. We don't really need to, but it gives us a better ranking. Some foods just rub folks the wrong way too, like there's a specific gene you can have that makes cilantro taste like soap. Yeah. Which is really unfortunate. So we turn these to the right twice. This one 4 times in any direction. In either direction. There we go. Language. Though I wonder. Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful outfit we go. Now was that 3 or 4? I forget. I lost count immediately. Hi, B. Oh, right. We can actually test things real quick. We can look into the rooms. We have light. Oh, that's good. Okay, we did it. We might have done this right. Yeah, being willing to experiment, being able to experiment is especially when you start from a position of being picky or being kind of I don't know, knowing that you might have difficulty in doing all that, knowing that you might have a lot of pushback against that sort of thing, and still doing it anyway. That's like a legitimately great skill, and I'm thankful for my ability to just kind of eat whatever. There are very few things that I cannot consume, and they always boil down to just simple taste or past experiences that kind of messed me up that I'm not going to talk about or have brought up here because they're not really something worth bringing up. Okay, we've got the placard, got the plate, and punch in the code. And we see the next death of a guy whose name we don't even get. Unless we did get his name. I forget. Whatever, he's dead. He doesn't know that we can't care about him anymore. So we're going to check out the bathtub. And then we're going to pick up a bunch of notes. I think when we first played this is as far as I got on my first playthrough. Like on our first stream. We still have half the stream to go, so we're already doing pretty well. I figure we can get this down to 2 streams, and if I squeeze, I can make our 4th playthrough a single, maybe slightly long playthrough. It's okay, the dude worked at that prison and is therefore one of the only dudes who deserve to get ghost murdered. Him and Braintree, pretty much. Okay, now we can get rid of this. And this chainsaw is pretty nice, so I think I want to keep it. And we're going to save. We're definitely going to get under 5 hours and 14 minutes in game time. I want to get my personal best down. Like these Silent Hill playthroughs have actually like given me a new appreciation for myself doing these things. I've got awesome games done quick logged in my calendar for the minute it starts. I love speedruns. I love watching them. I follow Games Done Quick on Twitch and a few other social media sites. I check out a lot of other channels. I'm in a Discord for Chameleon Twist 1 and 2 because they have like a bunch of stuff going on about that, which is really cool, by the way. And there's just something really appealing. Like, when you actually get into a game enough that you actually want to start chopping down your time, there's something genuinely very fun about that. Okay, so we've seen this car multiple times. Like, that specific core. We first saw that car in the forest world, where we got a memo. Okay, all y'all are making some wonderful noises. Okay, so this is where we can get the Sword of Obedience. And we're going to leave. And this is a world where we have a whole bunch of staircases. Oh, thank you. I'm really proud of, I'm proud of the animation I made for it. I haven't done actual animation in years, but I tried to do a really good job of making this one like read right, even though it's just a 2-frame animation. So thank you. That does genuinely mean a lot. Let's grab the pistol bullets. We don't need to pick up the golf clubs. I did the thing where I picked up all the golf clubs already, and I never need to do that again. Let's see. I think we need to go through here. Yeah, no accessibility whatsoever, which is really weird because eventually we start seeing wheelchairs everywhere. Which is kind of crazy. The inventiveness of disabled people will never not astound me. Okay, and then we have the pet shop, where there are dogs. Okay. Grab the key. We go back to the sports shop, I think, to use this key. So we go through the sports shop, we go north to go down the stairwell into the pet shop, to grab a key that allows us to get out of the sports shop to further explore the building. On that floor. Yes? Yes. That is exactly how that works. Hauling ass, hauling ass. Yeah, I don't know, like, Silent Hill 1 was one of 2 games that I got really into figuring out how to play quickly. The other was Metal Gear Solid 1, which I can't remember why I was so invested in that. I think I just enjoyed playing it so much that it was another silly excuse to play it over and over. Just reminds me about that Triangle Agency game. They have an explicit rule that any attempts to warp reality for the purposes of making places accessible or removing bigotry automatically succeed. That rules. Caleb's a good guy, so this fits very neatly in my understanding of him as a person. It's like, nah. We are going to make sure that you don't have to deal with this. I still would like to play it. I need to get my hands on it so I can try it out, because like everything I hear and see about it is just genuinely very cool. It is something that is very much in my interest. It has a lot of the game control in it. And it seems to be like not too heavy on rules. Like you can actually get into just playing a god dang tabletop, which is ideal. All right, got all these bastards. Hey, bud. Just gonna walk right past him and move on down. So many gosh darn stairwells. Okay. What floor are we on? Floor B15. Gosh darn. Okay. And I think this will take us to the bar right here. Yes. And we get the rusty axe, which is going to be our main fighting implement for a good long while. If we don't just keep the chainsaw. And this one, we know the code. It's 3750. And then we run upwards. And I just see this little ghost just poke his head up from the bottom of the screen. I always think if I ever picked a game to learn to speedrun, I'd do Dropsy. Yeah, that's a good one. I need to play that one again, because when I first played it, it had just come out, like, within that month. And they've since updated it to have, like, more stuff, right? Not, like, a huge amount of stuff, but, like, they've added some new little things, and just since so much of the meat of the game is just doing nice stuff that isn't strictly necessary to do to beat the game. Yeah, for those of you who don't know anything about Dropsy, it's by the same creator as Hypnospace Outlaw. Both games, I think, are must-plays. Dropsy is a game where you play as a kind of ugly, terrifying-looking clown who is the nicest person in the world and whose only desire is genuine human affection. And he's such a good boy. And just got patched in for the switchboard, I believe. Ooh, hell yes. But yeah, Dropsy is great. I would strongly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of classic point-and-click adventures, in no small part because it contains no actual dialogue, no spoken dialogue, no written dialogue.
Looks like another one, Captain.
And
Got
it works. It's
121
genuinely
on
impressive
his
what it pulls
head.
off. Plus, it's very cute. It's got a great aesthetic. It's genuinely a lot of fun. I like it a lot. And I think you should play it.
It's just like that case from 10 years ago.
We're going to get a
Yeah.
save in as we enter Apartment World. Man, are we going to get to Hospital World before the end of the day? Man, I came in here with a bad mood, but we are doing extremely well, and now my bad mood's kind of lifting, so...
They even got the body. Must be some
Yeah,
crazy
it's just-
copycat.
Also, really good stealth Christian metaphor, not abusive with its proselytizing. Yeah, it's, It just kind of works. And, like, I'm of the belief that if you are somebody who's trying to make media that has some sort of, like, religious undertones, you can totally pull off making an experience that feels like right. And you can do something that actually does a good job of convincing the audience that, like, you're not there to browbeat them. You're just there to talk about the ethos of your beliefs without trying to convert them. Yeah, we're not taking your stupid doll. Oh yeah, we should probably think about, like, what we want to do for this playthrough. Because in order to get our under endings, we need to either treat Eileen like crap, or don't solve any possessions, or at least solve as few possessions as possible. Oh wait, we're not actually done with the top floor yet. I don't want to deal with you. Of course, the one door I didn't frickin'... Yeah, Chris Schlarb, Schlarb is a fun name to say. Who did the OST. Yeah, it's... A lot of people very rightly have issue with, like, that kind of thing, because how often do we see people trying to make very religiously focused, often Christian, material that feels like you're being beaten over the head? Or that it's trying to shame you, or it's trying to do something that makes you feel like it's less about what the message is and more about, hey, join my religion. Do it, motherfucker. Like, I don't really have a problem with Christianity. I don't really, yeah, it's like marketing. I don't really have a problem with Christianity. I never have. I grew up believing I was a Christian. And I phrase that very particularly because, like, my relationship with religion is complicated. Having grown up Southern Baptist, but not really. The game is also informed a great deal by Tholin's own little brother, who is neurodivergent. That tracks. I could absolutely see how that affects things, and that's genuinely very interesting. Now, did I get everything? I've got the red paper. We need that. Oh, we need that because we need to place it under the frickin' door. Oh my god. Okay. So, when we start Apartment World, we need to go into the first door that we come across. then place any red paper we find, probably at the end of our run through of this, if we keep our collection very minor. We don't pick up absolutely everything. No, listen, I want more people to play Dropsy. Is the thing. And now that we have these keys, we can go into 105 and 106. It is too much like my job. Yeah, Hypnospace Outlaw. I was talking about this with I think I remember who, but I don't want to say the name out loud just in case. Um, just in case I get it wrong. But it is one of those games where you kind of wish that somebody would have told you beforehand to have a notepad handy. You know what I mean? And it like, I'm getting better at taking notes while I play games because I'm starting to realize, yeah, you know what? I play better when I have notes. Not that I needed them, it's that I just do better. I'm even taking notes while I play Vampire Survivor so I can remember, like, what my favorite power-ups are. Typically love a notepad game, but Hypnospace Outlaw is intensive, is the thing. I really shouldn't have done that. I should not have pressed that button. Now we're going to get a phone call all the way through, and it's not going to do a damn thing. I love that it's not going to do a damn thing. I love that they're going to drive us crazy with a phone ringing constantly. But also, god damn it, I did the thing that I shouldn't have done. Yeah, Hypnospace Outlaw is one of those games where you have to like write down like buzzwords, things that you see that might help you figure out like, okay, what do I need to actually search for? What do I need to actually pay attention to? And you'll get so many notes and tips and hints and so forth that it makes it feel like you're kinda writing a manifesto by the end of your time with it. Or I spend all looking for web secrets and tricking search engines. Yeah, I feel like the only games that really come close to pulling off what Hypnospace Outlaw does is like Sam Barlow's recent stuff. And Sam Barlow's stuff is very hit or miss. And Dropsy and Hypnospace Outlaw are by no means misses in any capacity. I think we can pick up another red paper. Oh, no, this is the wrong way, right? Yeah, this is the wrong way. Do I not have a weapon equipped? I do not. We've been going naked this whole time. Not that I'm actually going to attack these dogs. They're just dogs. We're not going to worry about it. Yeah. Christine Love's backlog is really good. I've never completed Hate Plus, but Analog of Hate Story is just genuinely very good. And I'm also just like generally a fan of Christine Love's work. Ow! Rude. Okay, we are now full up on items. So if we want to deal with this, we should run on back to 302 and drop a whole bunch of stuff off. Yeah, so there is this free game she made years ago. It was like her breakout hit called Digital Love Story. Analog A Hate Story is a pseudo sequel to that, but not in any sort of explicit sense. You don't need to play any of these together. Digital Love Story is one of my favorite, like, sort of Ghost in the Machine kinds of stories. And it is such an interesting look at early internet that just kind of messes me up in the best way. It is one of my all-time favorites. And I genuinely hope that people who play any visual novel or any like mystery or detective game play Digital Love Story. Seriously. That is how much I will talk it up. I think I need to go to Braintree's room, which is 206 or 207. I think I'm reading that it's 206, so that's what I'm going to believe. Let's grab the revolver, which we are not going to use for the entire playthrough. I think we used every single red letter. So we can now head on back to room 301, which has a portal. Revolver! Ocelot! Let's see. My favorite part in Lady Killer in a Bind is how the consequences of each dialogue choice are right there for you. No accidental choosing of the asshole option for you. It's going to be 100% intentional. Yeah! That game does a really interesting thing that, like, I think more games would benefit from trying. Revolver? I hardly know her. Thank you, AJ. The only game I know of that does what Lady Killer in a Bind does, like very explicitly, is Obsidian's Alpha Protocol, which is not a good game, but you should absolutely play it. There is like very little that's like genuinely great about it, but the way in which it puts up front the fact that the dialogue system is quite legitimately a social manipulation mechanic. Which sounds terrible, right? But in Alpha Protocol, you play as a spy. Your whole goal is to get people to do what you want them to do, and therefore you have to play to their interests, to their ego, to the way they respond to people. And Lady Killer in a Bind is also like this, because you are purposefully playing somebody in disguise. You are quite literally in drag, pretending to be your own asshole twin brother. And the mechanics of like that whole experience just bring to light the fact that you are trying to convince people that you are somebody you're not. And it's fascinating. I don't know how else to put it. It's just very good. Let's see. I think me with a TV ad announcer voice. How many times has this happened to you? Shows two best friends plays Wolf Among Us LP where they think Glassa means buy this NPC a drink. It was not. I still find that miscommunication hilarious. Because I get why they made the mistake. I do. I really do. But also, it's fucking hilarious that they thought that. Instructions unclear. Broke his nose. Ugh. Okay, so now we go to room 303, Eileen's apartment, where we are going to close out the apartment world. I still haven't played Wolf Among Us. I should, at some point. I guess I kinda... Oh, and there's Eileen. Kinda dying, but not quite. Then we get spat out back into the room. Where I think we are going to move on to the hospital world, where I think we're going to move on. I think we can pull it off. I think we can actually get to the end of hospital world. It'll be tough because that's when we start having Eileen. It's where we start having some stuff happen that is going to make things very difficult. Now that I've seen it in games, anytime there are dialogue options you can't choose because the character is thinking them but would never say them has me hooting, hollering, and pumping my fists. Yeah, you know what? Okay, so I played a game a while back called Say No More. It actually starts out that way, where the whole point of the game is to say no. But because you haven't learned how to say no properly against unreasonable demands, you can't make yourself say it. And it isn't until you learn it, like, you keep pressing this button, hoping, beyond hope, that you can say something in response to all these, like, shitty things that people are trying to say to you. And I don't know, it's like, I think about that game a lot, in no small part because it's really good. Let's see. Is this where I gotta do the placard thing? Let's see. There's a demon. Yeah, I would absolutely recommend Say No More. It's very good. It's got a great message. Oh yeah, and we're playing Adios soon. After we're done with Silent Hill 4, we are that is going to be our next game before we move on to Bloodborne. God. Still kind of sitting here like, really going to be playing Bloodborne. Enter hole. Yeah, I've been wanting to play Adios for a long time. Friend of the channel, Judge Anon, has been recommending it to people for a long time. And he is a man of good taste, so when I hear him say, no, you have to play this game, I listen. That's the thing about the friendships I make, is that I very much go, like, if you tell me that I need to play this game, then I am absolutely going to do it. It's also going to be, I think it's a game with multiple endings. So we're not going to do all endings for Adios. We're not, because I want y'all to play it. And I think that would be a good thing to do. Let's see, I think, yes, there's a bag here. Ooh, yeah, I'll check out a couple of websites in advance to make sure of things, but thank you. Let's see, I think... Let's see. Is there anything to find in here? I don't think so. Trying to see if there's a memo around here, and I don't think there is. Let's head upstairs, where we're going to see the freaky hallway with the giant Eileen head. Yeah, I always want to know anything about content warnings. They are very handy. Something I have learned is that this hallway is random. You don't know what you're going to find every time you load it up. Sometimes you're just going to see some freaky stuff, and that's okay. So I guess this is the one part of the playthrough that's going to be just kind of tough. Okay, we actually do want the Saint Medallion. And we're going to equip it right now. Oh, it's head time. Hello. God, I love that they put that there. The more I go back to that room, the more I love it. Oh, holy candle. Holy candle. Gonna light it up and make the ghosties flee. Sometimes you just gotta say hi to a freaky lady, you know? Okay, we don't actually want the golf clubs this time. We're just gonna go away. It's such a good big giant head, you know? It's like, I kind of wish... Okay, I do kind of wish we had more moments in the game like that. Not in the sense that, like, I want to be constantly freaked out, but it is such, like, an out-of-nowhere thing that I really like. It's a lot of fun. And I always hope to find more weird shit like that. Okay, so we do that, and now we need to find a locked door, which we haven't yet. Got more healing items that we can pick up, so that's good. But we're not going to have to worry about that. Incubator room. Big meat lady who burps. And then we get Eileen! Hell yes. And now we don't need to mess with anything in this hallway. We've gotten everything we can. We're going to call the elevator. But we're not going to use it because we are merely getting it to move out of the way so that we can go here. We'll wait for Eileen to catch up with us. Okay, now that we're done with that, I think this is the part where we need to go to a portal? Ooh. Baby's medical chart. Ooh, yes, let's grab that. Ooh, we can actually just navigate a bunch of... Oh, no, nope. Already have enough problems dealing with Nices. Okay, here's the hole. Thank you. Yes, we're actually going to beat... Oh man, I think we can actually pull this off in 2 run-throughs. That's going to be really nice. We're not going to deal with any poltergeist. We're going to do our best to make sure that Eileen is rescued by the end. Um, so that we can throw her under the bus in our last 2 playthroughs. Um, sorry, Eileen. It's not you. It's it's uh it's my desire for completion. Letter and a small key. That should be what we need for the hospital. And then we have, I think, 2 or 3 red papers here. The red papers are, of course, the reporter's little... It's not you, it's the game mechanics. It is, you know? Like, that's the thing. Okay. Let's see. What do we got? We actually don't need all of this. And we are going to deposit our small key. No, we're not going to deposit small key. We're depositing the other stuff. The holy candle. Because we can always just get it out if we need it. We don't need it to... that's right. We're not actually going through the washroom hole. We are going through the laundry hole. And then we are going through the elevator, I think? The elevator passageway in order to get to the other side. And then we start our big descent. I did not show her the giant Eileen head. Let's see if we can do that. Let's try it. Ow. It was near the end of this hallway. Let's go and do that. Thank you for the reminder, Necrobob. I think we mentioned it on a previous playthrough, and I just didn't get around to doing it. I'm gonna start here. Yes! First time!
This is a nightmare. It can't be happening.
Wow. Oh, in fairness, she's a little nonplussed. What do you do when you see that? There's not much you can say. Yeah, just kind of standing like, shit, like, what do you want me to do? What would you like me to do about this problem? Yes! It's burpees time! And and flop. God, I love that. That is just so good. Listen, it was worth trying out. I don't usually go for those little tidbits, so when people point them out, that's an opportunity for me to try it. Alright, we did it. We got through... Oh, man. We got through the first half of the game in a single session. So... We're actually, like... Okay, so what were the problems that we had in this playthrough? The water prison. The water prison. Now, apparently, I had messed up when I initially messed with the valves, and so the issue seems to be that, like, I'm not making use of those little portholes in the central column to check my work. And if I do that, and I do things in the right direction, if I do things in the right order, I'm not going to have those issues. And if I properly count, because that's another problem I have, I don't properly count. Let's see. Anything freaky going on? No. Okay, we're still good. So we are going to save out. We're going to put some stuff. We're not going to do a damn thing. And we're going to wrap up for the day. So I mentioned at the top of the show, I started in a bad mood. A lot of things just kind of... Oh, whoops. Wrong memory card. I started in a bad mood. A lot of things have been going wrong today, and I wasn't really happy about that, and I was letting it affect me. And coming into the stream, I was ready to just kind of be grumpy and miserable the whole time. And wouldn't you know it, things turned out great. We got to blast through the game in record time. Well, my record time. We got through a lot extremely quickly, and that was a lot of fun. Got to have a lot of fun conversations. And we'll be back on Saturday with more. Also, I get to start talking about what we're doing on Wednesdays for a little bit. Ryan, Lark, and I are going to be going through the Star Fox series. Mostly Star Fox 1, 2, and 64. We'll be starting on Star Fox next week, the SNES original, as it is presented on Nintendo Switch Online. Just gonna have a nice little outro image. There we go. And I don't know what else we are going to do with that Star Fox run, but I think we are leading up to a potential Sly Cooper run, which I'm kind of excited about because I really like Sly Cooper, and I think the person who's going to be playing that is either me or most likely Lark. So I get to make some new promo art for that. Let me think. Okay, Mom. That will be on Wednesdays at around 7:30. Ryan has a bit of a flexible schedule, so they don't always start. And that's 7:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Mountain, 9:30 Central. And I'm really excited about all of this. Let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, let's go ahead and do the housekeeping. VODs are available for 60 days after initial airing, completely free. There are follower and subscriber exclusive emotes, including the Hi Debbie emote that is designed by Lark and drawn by me. And now that Twitch has kind of got its stuff sorted, hey, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, which means you have a free sub to gift every single month to your favorite streamer or to a fellow chatter, just to spread the love. They don't stack, so be sure to use them. Otherwise, hey, I'm trying to grow the channel. I would love a subscription, but honestly, give me a follow. Tell your friends if they're starting to talk about, like, hey, I want to see some horror games. I want to see somebody run Bloodborne. I want to see just a nice, chill stream that I can just pop into reliably and just, like, whatever. Just send them my link. And give them a heads up. Like that would really help me out. I don't pay for advertising. I don't pay for anything other than the hardware and the material that goes into making these streams happen. And I'm going to do my best to keep it that way, because that's how I like to operate. But yeah, that is it. So thank you all for coming. I've been Robin, and Andrew Jack without a C, and will continue to be so for the foreseeable future. So get hydrated, get vaccinated, get masked up, be good, be safe, be awesome, be kind, or fuck off. Bye! I don't think that's going to be the permanent outro. It's just nice this time. Anyway, bye.